All right, we are taking questions for the first time in 2017, 3 audience questions, and it will be 3 staff answers. We will start with, it's fitting, from Aaron. Have you ever actually kept a New Year's resolution? Okay, I don't really make New Year's resolutions. I do sometimes say to myself on December 31st or January 1st, okay, you know what? It's a clean slate, even though it's totally arbitrary, right? Like
Yeah.
what there's nothing magical about January 1st. Clean slate, I'm going to commit myself to doing X more frequently or something like that. But the truth is, I'm generally pretty good at sticking to what it is that I want to do. But I will often also come across things that I start and decide I don't actually want to invest more time into, and I'll just sort of leave it and move on to other things. So I think if the question is, am I good at sticking to resolutions I make? I think generally I am pretty good at it.
Yeah, I mean, it is arbitrary to begin with. We're starting a new calendar year. To some people, that's important. To some people, they couldn't care less about that.
Yeah.
But I think when you're making a New Year's resolution, it has to be something quite tangible. I don't think frequency is a goal you should be going for. I think it should be concrete, as if I want to accomplish this. I want to, read this many books. I want to accomplish this at the gym. It has to be very specific.
Well, for some, I mean, the gym is where my mind went, and I've not been to my gym yet in 2017 because I've been away. But I plan to go today, and I'm wondering, will it be packed? And the
Oh, yeah.
answer is usually yes. I mean, I remember last January it was packed, and then it just sort of starts to trail off. I don't know, like I would even know how to define goals in the gym. I mean, for me, it's more just I want to be going more frequently, and if I've generally been going 4 times a week, I'd like to be going maybe 5 times a week or something like that.
Yeah, it is interesting how gyms towards the end of December will come out with these promotions to get you to sign up and
Yeah.
lock you into these year-long contracts.
Yep.
You can definitely tell, like, the population at the gym will be 3 times what it normally is at the
Yeah.
very beginning of January, and then by February it kind of trails off. But I mean, if you want to think of a tangible goal, it may be something like running a 5-minute mile or bench pressing 200 pounds, whatever it is.
Yeah, setting some kind of goal in terms of an accomplishment like that. That is interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think in general with goal setting, you're going to do better if it's based around what you're trying to achieve rather than like in other words, many of these goals require focus on the means, but you need to have the end in sight. And that's
Yeah.
really what's going to be the motivator. Or if there is no motivator, that may be what leads to people not keeping with their resolution.
It's all about having a long-term goal and then coming up with a bunch of little steps, little short-term goals to get
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And some of this seems obvious, but I know a lot of people who just they can't commit to anything really. They just really have issues seeing projects through or sticking with anything. It happens a lot with diets also, where people say, you know what,
Yep.
from now on, I'm doing X or I'm not doing Y. I'm not eating this, I am eating that. And very quickly it just falls apart. And part of that with diet is also you need something sustainable. Nothing that is extreme is going to be sustainable. And part of it being good is that you need to be able to keep it up. It can't be, I have lemon water with lemon juice in it 3 days a week and then eat whatever I want 4 days a week. I mean, it's crazy. It has to make sense.
A big thing with diet and going to the gym too is a lot of people take satisfaction out of telling people that they're making a goal for themselves. And then because they've already achieved that satisfaction, they won't work to achieve the goal.
But there's an opposite to that,
Yeah,
which
there
is
is.
the opposite is that when you publicly state the goal, you have announced it to more than just yourself, and you might feel more accountable. So there's a school of thought which says you should publicly, a good thing to do with social media is say what your goal is, because then you've made it public. And now, even if no one actually keeps up and checks up on you, you might feel like, I said I was going to do this publicly. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because there is a feeling that you're obliged to do something once you've told everyone about it.
Yeah.
But it really just it depends on the person, I would say. Because I think a lot of people do get satisfaction out of just telling people they're going to do something and then don't follow through with it.
Oh,
Depends on the person.
if social media has taught us anything, it's that people get a lot of satisfaction merely from saying things and then not actually doing anything. My Facebook feed is evidence of that.